Hello guys, welcome to one more lesson. In today's lesson, we'll be actually adding some content to these widget areas we have created in the previous lesson. We have the structure ready, but we have to find a way to link this admin here, what we have in the admin, with what we have in the front end. Because if we try now to add some content to this banner here, for example, let's add a heading. For example, with a test, this will be H1 and a paragraph also. Let's use some dummy content here to add this paragraph. If we save this and then we look at the front end, we don't see anything different because we are not linking what we have here with this front end. We have to change the code we are using to display this area here with something special to WordPress. So let's go ahead to our index.php file. And this area here is displaying the actual content. So let's remove this. Actually, let's cut this and paste in the temporary file. We always be leaving these structural divs here or elements that are wrapping the actual content of this area, because we need these classes here in order for the CSS to display correctly. And instead of the actual content, let's add some PHP functions here, some WordPress function. So inside an if block, let's add this one first called is active sidebar. And what this function does is it checks if there is any content inside any given sidebar. And for WordPress, being active is only having some content inside it. So let's check for our first sidebar. And here inside the parentheses, we can add the name of the sidebar, actually the ID of the first sidebar. The ID of this first sidebar is banner. Let's go ahead and place this here. And if that's the case, if this banner sidebar is active, let's call it dynamically here using dynamic sidebar, and then passing once again the name, the ID of the sidebar, which is banner. Let's add a semicolon here. And if we save this now and look at the front end again, reload this, now we see some content here, and it's because now what we have in the back end is linked to the front end. What you can do now is just update this text here with the actual content. There are two ways we can do this. So let's first use the first approach. What we can do, for example, is just update those contents that are already inside the widget area manager. So we have two blocks here. The first is a H1 title, and the second block is a paragraph, exactly what we need. All right, so we can just replace this with the actual text, and then go ahead and use copy the other text here, which is inside a paragraph, and replace this with the actual text. But what will happen is that it will lose some of the elements inside it. So for example, it doesn't bring this line break anymore. We can fix this in a very easy way. For example, if we click here and just choose to edit this as HTML, and then just add this line break again, and move this chunk of text here to this place here. We can edit it visually now, and that's it. You can then remove this one, and then if we save this now and check the front end, now it's more like it. And the second way, the second approach, is just add another block, which is a custom HTML block. So we can leverage this one here, and then copy once again this HTML here, paste it here and preview it. So the user, for example, your site owner can then just update it more easily using this visual tool. All right, if you save this, now we have both areas here using both approaches. So let's remove one of them because we only need one. We can, for example, remove this one here and this one here too. Save this. All right. And what more? We have this other area here. We also need to update it. So let's go to our code. One of the things I could have done is create two widget areas for these elements here, because you see that we have two divs, two structural divs. So we could, for example, create one more widget area here called About Me 2, for example, to place this second content here coming from this second div. But in fact, what I'm going to do is I will just get rid of this second div here, because it doesn't make any difference for me, because as you can see, guys, the classes here are almost the same. The only thing that will be different here is that the second text here will be centered in the screen. But it doesn't make any difference for me. You can then, if you want, later use, for example, CSS to style only this second paragraph here. So let's make it simple now. Don't forget also that we have this image here inside. So what we can do is cut this and move it to this temporary file again. And we can copy this and reuse it inside this, this portion here, and only modify the ID. Now the ID is About Me, right? Save this, and the first thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna place the image first. So let's add a block for the image. So an image block, let's get it and upload an image. That will be the designer pick image. And if we save this now and look at the front end, now we have the designer here, right? And to make the rest a little simpler, we can then leverage once again the HTML block and place the other elements here inside. So let's grab them from here. Preview it and save this one. All right. Fantastic. Now, the owner of the site, if he or she wants, they can then go to the admin here and then just update the text and image, whatever. All right, so what more? So we have here another area. There is this Hire Me section. I think I'll be leaving this as a task for you guys so you can test your knowledge about these widget areas. It's not that difficult, because what do we have here? Let's check it. We have an H3 tag, a paragraph, and then a link. I think the easiest way, once again, is to use that custom HTML block. So you can, for example, grab all of these elements to this HTML block. Or if you want, you can do it individually to add an H3 block first, and then a paragraph block, and then a link block or something like that. So see what you can do. In the next lesson, we'll be adding the contact form just below, using once again another of our widget areas. So see you guys later. Bye.